Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Pray all is well. Wanted to come to you guys with a word this morning that God has placed on my heart. This beautiful Saturday morning, continuing in the book of Judges, chapter 14. Chapter 14. And it says we're going backwards in the context. God is something that God dropped in my spirit this morning, so I wanted to go back. But Judges 14, in the opening verses, it says that Samson, he goes to Timnah and he sees a young lady that he desires to have as his wife. And it says he goes to his mother and his father, and he asks them to get her for him as his wife. And it says his mother and father, they at first they object because they don't. She's a Philistine, and the Philistines didn't live and they didn't serve God, didn't serve God and believe as Samson and his people did, and the Israelites. So it says that they object, but it says Samson continues. He goes to his father this time. He says, "Daddy, get her." I'm paraphrasing the context. Get her for me as my wife. Well, what is the title for this morning? We have not because we ask not. Say that one more time. We have not because we ask not. We have not because we ask not. I remember growing up as a child. I was not the greatest child. I was not the greatest child. I was not the greatest teenager. Man, it was so many things that I did in life that, as I reflect back, that were not right. There were so many things that I said and took place in. It was so much hell that I caused my parents and teachers and so many others throughout life growing up because Marcus, he was a bad boy. Was a bad boy. I did a lot of things that I knew I should not have done. Said a lot of things that I knew I should not have said. Um, Went to places that I know I should not have went. Hung with people that I knew I should not have, and it caused a lot of hell and a lot of chaos for my parents. And guess what? Well, in those seasons of my life when I was doing right, when I was uh, doing right as a child and a teenager, and I desired something so bad, guess what? I would be so afraid to go ask my parents. I would be so afraid to go ask my father for those things. I would be so afraid to go ask my mother for those things. Why? Because now in a season, in a time, in a place when I was doing right, it made me reflect back on my bad times and those bad moments when I caused and created a lot of hell and havoc for my father and mother. And I would think to myself in these good times and good seasons, you know what? I'm afraid to ask because I've done so much bad. I don't deserve what I'm asking for right now because I've done so much bad in the past. I've said things and done things that I know that were not right. So I'm not going to ask because they're probably going to say no. They probably won't grant those things to me because I've done so much bad in the past. Well, guess what? You know what? I miss so many blessings. I miss so much opportunity. I miss so many things because I was just thinking and didn't even take the opportunity to open my mouth. How does this apply to the message, Marcus? You know how it applies? Guess what? It's so good that we don't serve a God that grants off of how we live. It's so great that we don't serve a God that grants grace off of our current character and the things that we have done in our past. Man, God will give things that we don't deserve. He will place things in our life that sometimes that we didn't ask for. He will give us things that exceed sometimes the things that we do ask for. Even though he knows we've done wrong, he knows we said wrong. Sometimes he knows we didn't do the things that we were supposed to do. But guess what? We serve a God that is so great. He still will pour into us. Why? Because we are his children. We are his sons and daughters here on this earth. And he will grant us things sometimes, whoo, my God, that we don't deserve. That we don't deserve. So we have to be as our brother Samson. We have to be bold. We have to be bold and we have to ask and seek the Father for the things that we desire and the things that we need. But guess what? I know there's somebody out there watching right now, and it says, Marcus, you know what? I've been asking God. I've been seeking God. I've been on my knees and praying and calling out to him for the things that I desire. Well, guess what? Sometimes we just got to remain patient. We have to remain patient because sometimes those gifts, they don't come when we desire. One of my favorite verses is his troubles will last for a minute, but joy will come in the morning. Troubles will only last for a minute, but joy will come in the morning. The context doesn't tell you what morning. It doesn't give you a specific date, but it's faith it's faith and perseverance and it's hope that you have to hold on to, praying and living and striving that one morning you're going to wake up and things are going to be better. One morning you're going to wake up and things are going to be greater. One morning you're going to wake up and that pain will no longer be present. One morning you're going to wake up and that financial situation is going to be so much better. One morning you're going to wake up and that vehicle is going to be in your driveway. You're no longer going to be homeless. You're no longer going to be jobless. You're no longer going to be single, but that husband or that wife and that spouse is going to be there. So it doesn't tell you the morning, but you have to persevere until you get to it. But first you have to ask the Father. Ask the Father. Don't be ashamed, but go to the Father boldly. God, I desire. God, I need. But you know what? As I prepare to close this video, one thing I encourage you to do, sometimes you just got to give God thanks. Because sometimes we sometimes there are people out there who always they just have their hands out, asking and begging, but they never stop to thank God. Thank God for what He's done in the past. Thank God for what He's doing right now. Thank God for the blessings that He's already bestowed. Sometimes He just wants to hear us. Thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for my sight. Thank you for the sound that proceeds through my ears. Thank you for the activity in my limbs. Thank you for my children and my home. And thank you for the food in my fridge. Thank you for the clothes on my back. Thank you for the shoes on my feet. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And see, as you learn to give Him thanks, as you learn to give Him reverence morning, noon, and night, as you learn to just spend some time with Him and talk as you're driving to work. Just thanking Him and talking to Him. God, I thank you for where you have brought me from. I thank you, Lord God, for just traveling grace, whatever it may be. Learn to just thank Him, and sometimes you won't even have to ask, because as you begin to think, He's already moving on your behalf, because He sees that you are grateful for the things that He has done. He sees that you're going to give Him glory for the things that He has done and He's about to do. He will continue to move in your life like never before. In the precious and mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. That's the word for you guys today, man. I love you guys, man. Put your prayer requests in the comment section. If you don't feel comfortable putting them in the comment section, just message me privately, 817-793-0695. Hit the share button. Share this word with one of your friends, one of your family members, one of your coworkers. It may not be mine. And lastly, go to the YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page. I love you guys, man. Be blessed and happy Mother's Day. Happy early Mother's Day to you, you women, to you mothers out there. I love you guys. Be blessed.